everyone. Welcome back inside the UC Health Training Center for today's edition of Broncos Now. Team reporter and host Sydney Jones here. And coming up on today's episode, we'll hear from quarterback Russell Wilson and head coach Nathaniel Hackett as they look ahead to Thursday's matchup versus the Colts. Plus, I'll have today's injury report, and we'll hear from new Broncos running back Latavius Murray. All that and more coming up. Broncos were back on the practice field today here at the UC Health Training Center for a walkthrough as the team looks to face the Indianapolis Colts in just 2 short days. Both quarterback Russell Wilson and head coach Nathaniel Hackett were asked about playing on Thursday night and discussed the challenge that comes with it.
Well, I think it's great. I think that when you get to play these Thursday night games, for me, I always try to get a lot of my film, ahead of film on Mondays, and when you play a Thursday night game, as soon as I get back on the plane on Sundays, I'm watching that film usually on Sunday night of the next team. And so getting prepared that way, Monday all day, Tuesday all day, So I think that the great thing is that every Thursday practice should feel like a game in a way. Throughout the regular season, you want to make it that competitive, and I think we do a great job of that. Obviously, you're going to play a different uniform and a great team in the Colts. I think they got a lot of great players. I mean, so many stars in their team, and so it's going to be a great matchup, and we're looking forward to it. Playing in front of our fans, what a great time that's going to be. So it's a special thing.
I'm glad we got one quick after this last week. So from a coaching standpoint, it's a grind. It's definitely a grind. I know it's a grind on the players, but it's part of our profession, and it's prime time, and everybody gets to watch it, so you're always excited for that.
But despite the quick turnaround, Russell has one goal in mind.
Winning. That's it. That's all that really matters is I think, you want to be great on third down, great in the red zone. But at the end of the day, we put on the pads and cleats to win.
In other news today, the team placed both running back Javonte Williams and outside linebacker Randy Gregory on injured reserve. Denver also signed running back Latavius Murray from the Saints practice squad. Murray has recorded over 1,300 rushes for 5,549 yards and 50 touchdowns in his career. Murray spoke on joining the team today and what he knows about this offense and this locker room.
There was a lot of conversation around this team, a lot of conversation around this division in the offseason. And so, I think it's I heard nothing but great things about the locker room. I'm obviously in it right now. And so far, everything is what I've been told. And so I'm just excited to be here. I'm excited to go to work and bring another chip back.
And Coach Hackett discussed what he likes about Murray and his game.
Known Latavius for a while now, and he is another great pro. To have two, we might have some of the biggest running backs in the league right now. Just having that guy, a guy that has done it for so long, has tons of experience, can pass pro, can catch, is something that's great for our team. And also as a person, as a leader, I'm very happy that he's here.
Offensive coordinator Justin Outen and defensive coordinator Ejiro Ivero also addressed the media this afternoon. Coach Outen talked about what's been working well for the offense in the red zone as of lately, and Coach E discussed how he wants to see this defense bounce back on Thursday night.
Running the ball. It's something that we're going to lean on. It's something that we believe in, not only in the open field, but going downhill with these guys and having more of an opportunity to break a tackle because it gets muddy down there. The more passing you do, the tighter the windows get. Defenses are getting better with zero coverage and hiding it. So there's nothing better than running it and then having the opportunity to pass off the same formation and motion.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is just, not trying to do too much, just playing our core fundamentals. And I think sometimes, as coaches and players, you have a tendency to want to make a play to win the game and press. And, we just got to trust the process, one play at a time. Stay disciplined with our fundamentals, stay disciplined in how we're calling the game, all those things, and we'll be just fine.
And now let's take a look at today's injury report. The team conducted a walkthrough today, so this is just an estimation. Outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper, safety PJ Locke, guard and center Quinn Miners, and outside linebacker Aaron Patrick did not participate. Safety Caden Stearns, wide receiver Tyree Cleveland, running back Melvin Gordon, cornerback Darius Phillips, offensive lineman Billy Turner, and quarterback Russell Wilson would have all been limited. Coach Hackett said they are still anticipating Russell to play on Thursday, and when Russell was asked about it, he said he is super confident he'll play. Now joining me here inside the Broncos podcast studio is fellow team reporter Phil Milani. Phil, thanks for joining me on this short week here.
Sid, it's always a pleasure. How was your birthday last week?
Oh, it was great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah,
Phil.
of
My
course.
parents came and met me in Las Vegas, so
Nice.
it was wonderful.
It seemed like the YouTube commenters really were wishing you a happy
They
birthday
did,
too.
yes, all because of you. Well, Phil, it's a short week here for the Broncos. You know, a lot to do before that Thursday night matchup. So let's get right to it. You know, as I discussed earlier in the show, the Broncos, they signed running back Latavius Murray today after putting Javonte Williams on IR, of course, hoping for a speedy recovery for Javonte. But Phil, what do you really like about this signing? Where do you think this running backs room really stands now?
Well, George Payton had to go out and do something. I mean, you couldn't just go into the game with Melvin Gordon and Mike Boone. Now that they at least have an option, whether they, bring in Latavius Murray or not to the active roster, that remains to be seen. But it seemed like Nathaniel Hackett was open to the idea today. And then even Latavius Murray, he talked to the media in the locker room, said, I mean, hey, it's possible. Of course, he played for the Saints last Sunday in London, so traveled back. Now he's in Denver. He practiced on Tuesday. I don't know. I could see him getting a few snaps if he gets his pass protection down. He understands what some of the checks are. Can get into a rhythm with Russell Wilson. I could see him playing a little bit, but I do like the move. They had to go out and get somebody. Murray, a veteran in this league. I think that he should be able to get up to speed pretty quickly, and then we'll see what he can provide in terms of actual production on the field.
Well, we did hear from Coach Hackett today in regards to Melvin Gordon. He said he was back at practice with a vengeance today. You know, this team still definitely has faith in Melvin. What do you want to see from him this Thursday, and how do you kind of want to see him really bounce back from that game?
I'd love to see Melvin come out and have, like this sort of vengeance game.
Yeah.
It would be nice to be able to see him bounce back. And I think the hard thing or the frustrating thing with Mel is that we know how talented he is. I mean, he is a really talented running back. Definitely. He knows how to carry the ball. He knows how to find the crease. He knows how to score in the red zone. I mean, he really has a nose for the end zone. He's an excellent pass protector. I mean, he is a really talented running back, but he's got to hold on to the football. And you got to be able to trust your running back. Anytime a player on the field is in possession of the ball, the whole team is relying on him. The whole team is depending on him to secure the ball.
Right.
And with Mel, it's not just his fumbles. For whatever reason, they always somehow get scooped up and returned for a touchdown.
I know.
I mean, 3 times within the last several games dating back to last year.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see him bounce back. I know that he's capable of so much more. I just want to see him be able to put this thing together. And, maybe some of it is mental, some of it is physical. Maybe he can get over those hurdles and really be able to put it all together. I think that I'd love to see that.
Yeah, maybe we will see a different mindset from him. We saw him get on the podium after the game on Sunday and was so emotional. You could tell he was really hurt. He had really hurt himself by doing it, not only the team, but yeah, maybe that was what he needed to kind of get back to the running back that he is.
It's hard because his whole career, he sort of had to share the backfield with somebody.
Yeah.
With the Chargers, it was Austin Eckler. When he first came here, it was Philip Lindsay, and then it turned into Javonte Williams. And I think that just was some sort of a mental hurdle where he just couldn't get over that. I don't know if that's all going to go away now that, hey, that guy isn't there necessarily. I don't know if it just goes away or if he can just relax a little bit. Whatever the case may be, he is now the person the Broncos are going to rely on because, it's him and Mike Boone. And Melvin Gordon's got to be able to produce for this team. And hopefully this is the game where it comes together and he's able to put these fumble issues in the past because I do think that if he fumbled one more time or something, I don't know what would happen. I mean, it would just
I think
be
our fans would
Yeah,
lose
exactly. So hopefully he can just put it together and play up to his potential because he is so talented.
Yeah. Well, Phil, looking at these receivers, they got a lot more action on Sunday. We saw touchdowns from Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. He had a great play. Kendall Hinton. We heard from both Coach Hackett and Russell Wilson just on KJ Hamler's potential and, wanting to get him more involved in this offense. You think we might see that from him on Thursday night, or you
I think
it's
so.
slowly but surely?
It looks like he's starting to work his way back from his injury.
Yeah.
He'd been dealing with a lot of stuff, his ACL and hip from last year. It sounded like maybe he had a little bit of a groin issue also. So if he's able to be healthy, it looked like when he was blazing down the field that he was okay.
He was great.
So I think that he gives the Broncos something that none of the other guys do there.
I agree.
He's just that speedster. And kind of like a Montreal Washington. I mean, I'd even like to see Montreal get involved a little bit more in the passing game, not just a screenplay, but maybe if he could pick up this offense, if he could be a little bit more involved, just because those guys provide something that, Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, as talented as they are, KJ just brings a little something different. Right. That speed, that shiftiness. I mean, he is talented. I mean, there's a reason why the Broncos drafted him in the second round. I mean, he's a talented wide receiver. If he's healthy and he's ready to go and Russ trusts him, I expect him to be a little bit more involved.
Mm-hmm. Well, looking at this defense, Phil, we heard earlier in the show from Coach E. He said he thinks maybe the defense was just trying a little bit too hard, doing a little bit too much versus the Raiders on Sunday. We saw them really struggle to stop the run, stop Josh Jacobs. How do you think they kind of turn around and on this super short week and fix maybe some of those mistakes?
Gosh, it is going to be another challenge if Jonathan Taylor plays for the Colts. Such a dynamic running back. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Taylor. He's obviously dealing with an ankle injury, but Gerald Evero said they're preparing like he's going to play. So it's going to be another tough test. And Josh Jacobs certainly seemed to get into the minds of the Broncos defense, because once that thing started rolling for him last Sunday, they couldn't stop him. And I think that anytime one player is starting to have so much success against you, it's natural for your competitive spirit to be like, I'm going to make a play here. Yeah. I'm going to show this guy what I can do here. Mm-hmm. And so everybody kind of starts thinking like that instead of just playing assignment sound defense. Right. And so even on that third down play where the Broncos really needed a stop there at the end of the game, Josh Jacobs is the fullback there. Everybody crashes down like they're going to make the play on Jacobs, and boom, the ball's going outside, and the Raiders go on to score a touchdown and win the game, obviously. So I know the Broncos are capable of more than that. Heading into that game, they were the sixth best defense against the run. So, they had been playing really well against the run. That was just a storm that all came together against the Raiders. And for whatever reason, Jacobs always seems to have these huge days against the Broncos.
Always.
So I think that the next time they play, Jacobs, he's going to be in the minds of everybody.
Yep, for sure. Well, Phil, as you know, short weeks are always tough. Little time to prepare, little time to get everyone's bodies right, get them to rest and recover. Do you think having a short week coming off this Raiders game might be a blessing in disguise, just because the players want to erase that from their memories and move on?
I think that there's two ways you can look at it. One way is, from a mental standpoint, let's just get back out on the field and get that bad taste out of your mouth. Mm-hmm. You got a chance to go out and get another win. This is more of a mental week. It doesn't sound like the Broncos did much corrections on that Raiders tape. So, they just turned the page and got ready for the Colts. That can be a good thing. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's a lot of pressure now on them to win. I mean, the last thing you want to do is lose 2 games in 5 days. Nope. So you got to be able to turn the page, get focused, and get ready for this Colts team. And then on the other side, the body, you don't have quite as much time to get ready again. Mm-hmm. And for the Broncos, they're dealing with guys who have some concussion issues, some hamstring problems. It's less time to get ready. But Russell Wilson today said that, look, by the time Thursday rolls around, that practice, you're ready to go. That's a competitive practice. He said that he likes to do the film study for a Thursday night game Sunday on the plane. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like he was already getting ready for the Colts on the plane right back from Vegas. So I don't know. I think there's 2 ways to look at it. I see both perspectives, but maybe for this Broncos team, it's a good thing to just be able to come back home. They don't have to travel again on Thursday night.
Yes, thank God.
And so maybe just being able to play back at home. They've won both of their home games so far this year. So I think that maybe it could be a good thing for this team.
A lot to watch for, Phil. Appreciate your time and your insight today.
Thanks, Sid. Always a pleasure. Look, it even affected us because I usually come on Wednesday.
I
Now
know.
I got to come in on
Now
Tuesday.
we're on Tuesdays.
So I'm all thrown off.
So am I. I don't like the short weeks either.
Thanks for having me, though.
Thank you, Phil. Well, that'll do it for today's episode of Broncos Now, Broncos Country. Thanks so much for tuning in today and every day. Hope you meet me right back here on the Broncos Podcast Network and YouTube tomorrow evening for a game preview. I'll see you all then.